Alright, here we go. Welcome back, everyone, to your weekly MMA wrap-up, where we discuss all things to have happened in the martial arts and mixed martial arts world within the last 7 days, and 12 hours, and 47 minutes, and 13 seconds. JK, I barely know what day it is today, as if I'm ever going to get that precise about it. I've given you news from the week of and several years before and still called it this week's news. It's not that formal.
Words have no more meaning, Terry.
And this week we have 4 wonderful pieces of information for you, along with our From the Depths of the Interwebs. I gotta find new ways to say it, so I'm gonna be trying some stuff out in the next few weeks. And to start with, we're going back to the MVP card Jake Paul held in, I don't know, what was it, like May or something? Or April? Where we had 2 fighters that were contending for a victory. When one of them at the very end shot in on kind of a take the back moment, sunk in an RNC, and supposedly got his opponent unconscious and won the fight. I say supposedly because that fighter who went unconscious actually brought the fight all the way to the Athletic Commission to have it overturned. Professional fighter Pumi, hopefully, or Fumi, I don't know, Nkata, was trying to overturn his loss against Adriano Moraes, yes, because he claims that he was still conscious and in the fight at the time of the bell for the end of the round, and only went unconscious after his opponent, Moraes, kept holding on to the choke. Now, this did go pretty far. It got all the way up to the head honchos of whatever commission gets to decide whether or not they're going to overturn this loss, and it was denied. Now, the reason for this denial was because they said, we don't have definitive proof that you were conscious. They looked at it several times. The guy in charge of it said, I've looked at it 80 times, and we just cannot tell whether or not you were awake before the bell rang. Also, a little bit of help from the officials at the time encouraged him to say, you know what? All these other guys said you were out before the bell, so you're out. Loss stays a loss. Of course, many of you will have colorful things to say once I tell you that Herb Dean was reffing the match, but still, I didn't think he did that bad of a job. Did look like he allowed it to stay sunk in a little bit too long, but the choke, I mean. Regardless, when you look at the actual video itself, you can clearly see that he is struggling against the choke, and it does go on past the bell. It is kind of hard to see whether or not he was asleep or not because the camera angles were not very good. But I'll say this to the head honcho's claim there that we can't overturn it because there's not enough proof. I would say there's not enough proof to determine that I was knocked out if I was Nkuta. If there was not definitive proof to say I was out after the bell, you can't tell me that I was out before the bell. And I understand then the argument becomes, well, the other officials said you were done, so then you must be done. From the angle of the camera we got right there, it looks like his hands were on the arm, fighting it till the last moment. He didn't look slacked until Herb stepped in to try and pull the choke off, which the guy again refused to let go. So I don't know. I think that one's kind of up in the air. I am so far more so Team Nkuta, because I want more evidence. I mean, out of all those people there, you're going to tell me not a single audience member, videographer, independent film person, whatever, didn't get a shot of the front of his face at the time of the choke? Come on.
Nakuda survives an incredible sequence.
Moving on, now we have a small bit about Jake Paul still hunting to fight older guys, like way older guys who shouldn't be fighting anymore. Come on, dude. Jake Paul apparently is chasing Nate Diaz for an MMA fight. I mean, you must have seen that last one with Mike Perry and been like, oh yeah, no, that's the guy. That's my debut fighter. Because again, he doesn't want to go against someone who can genuinely hurt him. Now, Nate is a threat in that fight if he goes to the ground, of course, but Jake is probably banking on the fact that he can land a good punch or an overhand, slump Nate, and call it a day. He's also potentially interested in a boxing match with Floyd Mayweather, which, I mean, it won't go as bad as Anthony Joshua, but it won't go as well as your other matches. Floyd is old, but Floyd was the best of the time, you know what I mean? If that happens, they won't get hurt by either one of them. Probably gonna walk out just fine and make a lot of money out of it. But the Nate Diaz fight just seems like a waste of everyone's time. Let the guy retire. I know he doesn't want to, but Nate needs to retire. Do jiu-jitsu matches. Go to like, what do they call it? Masters? Whatever the older guy division is. Yeah, do that. Because he's probably still a stud on the ground. I mean, he definitely choked me unconscious. I'm not trying to make fun of him here. I'm just saying he probably shouldn't be fighting anymore given his age and current physical health status, you know, especially after that platinum Mike Perry beating. Ugh.
And yet Nate continues to survive, but for how much longer?
After that nonsense, though, we have the results of RAF 11, Colby Covington versus Arman Tsarukyan, which I would not have said if I didn't really even know this fight was coming out. But if I had known it was like this Saturday or this whatever, I would never have said Colby Covington wins. I would have said Tsarukyan manhandles him, tech fall, pin, whatever it is you guys call in wrestling for a win, he wins. Bottom line. And while the match was definitely competitive, it was Covington who came out on top with the win. And for that, he was awarded the inaugural crossover belt. I'm not sure what crossover has to do with it, but whatever. And to be fair, Arman was the smaller guy. Weight, power, everything does matter in a fight. That is 100% true. It doesn't matter who you are, how good you are. When the guy's bigger than you, you have disadvantages somewhere. However, even all that considered, this is a very impressive win for Colby Covington. Not a single person, wrestling, street, UFC, that I've seen, have been able to stop Arman's wrestling, stun it, deal with it, stop it from happening. They're all, it's like Khamzat Chimaev before Strickland, right? Everyone was just a victim. But then here comes Colby Covington, this all-American D1 athlete who doesn't starch Arman, but he makes him look human. And sometimes that's all you need to convince all of Arman's opponents that he is very beatable. And
if it bleeds, we can kill it.
This may actually, who knows? I don't know how mentally tough Arman is. Maybe he'll take this loss and he'll hold it dear to his heart and he'll ruin the rest of his career. Or it'll incentivize him to be better. I hope for the second one. Either way, Colby etches out a win at 5-3 in his favor. Good job, sir. Even though most of the time I detest your personality. And our final story before we get to our From the Depths of the Interwebs. Yeah. Conor McGregor, Conor McNuggets, I'm gonna assault your girlfriend so bad she needs surgery to remove the tampon from her body, gave us an update on his injury for those of you who care. Why am I reporting on it? Because it's news. Am I happy about it happening? I feel like it's karma. And drum roll please. It is an ACL and meniscus tear. So he f***ed up two things doing that. Oh, that's interesting, actually. I remember this from his first fight with Max Holloway. He did injure his knee at the time as well, and apparently it's the same injury, but on the other leg. And he goes on to write in his little Twitter post that he healed up in 9 months and went on to beat some guy named Diego at the time. But, Conor, you're different. You're old and injured and full of drugs and cocaine, which is still drugs, but different kind of drugs. Just stop. You wasted a lot of people's money, sir.
Oh, and now, look, that's going to do it. Oh.
And of course, everyone's confident that he's going to make a return and try again. They're letting people happy and looking forward to his amazing presence back in the octagon. Amazing. But I really would like to see people stop platforming guys who commit heinous acts of crimes against other civilians and people who, generally don't deserve it. I mean, let's put it this way. The only reason why they're still giving this dude a platform and a way to speak and an opportunity to fight and make more money is because he's Conor, because he's famous. That's the bottom line. Any other guy on the planet assaults a woman, gets out of it criminally, has to pay civil penalties because the lady took him to court and won a lot of money, tried to appeal it, and then gets denied because even the judge of the High Court of Ireland was like, no, you did that shit. Would not get the same opportunities. It's just because it's Conor. Which again goes to why we shouldn't always be, praising famous people, because they can be pretty up too, can't they? But aside from that little somewhat incoherent rant, now it is time, everyone, for your favorite part of YouTube itself, or at least this channel. From the depths of the interwebs, we have Andrew Tate and his brother getting arrested again for the exact same charges you thought of the moment I said their names. And of course, CPS is back involved, as they were involved back in 2010 through 17, because some of them were minors. And from what I can tell, these are new charges being brought up by England, and they were trying to extradite them from the United States, 42 of which are going to go to Andrew, and 17 are going to Tristan. I don't understand how at this point people can't get that these guys are like horrible, malicious, insane, like predators, right? I don't understand how people still defend them, right? Oh, but they can't get them on any of the charges. Oh, they never served time. Well, technically they're under house arrest for a period of time, which is technically a punishment, even if it was just while they decided what is going on. I think the problem here is they've got the guys, they know what they did, but they aren't able to put enough evidence together to give them a real punishment, right? They're either missing testimonies, things, some IT guy fucked up and removed some camera footage that they need. They got them, right? It's one of the things like we all know it happened, but because we can't definitively put it down to paper and say 100% you absolutely did this at this time in this way, and here's the video of it, we can't punish them. Which kind of sucks, because in one way, you don't want to set the precedent of, hey, we only have most of the evidence, so we're booking you, even though there's a chance you're innocent. And at the same time, We all know 100% you did it, we're just missing some pieces of evidence, so we gotta let you go and do whatever you want for right now. Of course, I'm biased because I try and speak out against literally everything they talk about, especially how a young man should be, because it's all bullshit, terrible advice that ruins the lives of everyone who ever listens to it. But I digress. We'll see where it goes. Maybe they'll get off again and run away to another foreign country and try and hide for however many years it takes with their tails tucked between their legs. Tail was a euphemism there for a different word, a different part of the body. Yeah. Or maybe they'll actually face punishments for the crimes they commit. We'll find out, won't we?
Max, what do you want for dinner?
Justice.
And with that, everyone, thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. I appreciate your time, love, attention, and everything you gave to this channel, because all of it goes to support the nonprofit Free MMA, where we teach everyone martial arts for no cost in person. It's a real facility, and we're opening a second one in Australia. Anytime you leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, that's where all that support goes. And of course, please hit the hype button. Hype! It's very helpful, thank you. Hype! As always, remember to eat well, sleep well, train hard, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. And our final story before we get to what? Fumi Nkata. Fumi Nkata. Fumi Nkuta's. Hold on, someone's running a dishwasher. Someone's running a sink right now. All right. It's recording right now, right? Scared the shit out of me.
I'm sorry.
You should be. Be sure to bleep the cursing. Hype!